ടെലിവിഷൻ മാധ്യമങ്ങൾ വാർത്തകൾ നൽകുന്നതിലധികം ഒച്ചപ്പാടും ബഹളവുമാണ് പ്രേക്ഷകർക്ക് സമ്മാനിക്കുന്നതെന്ന് മുതിർന്ന മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തകൻ രാജ്ദീപ് സർദേശായി. TRP ഉയർത്തുവാൻ വേണ്ടിയല്ല മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തനം നടത്തേണ്ടതെന്നും വാർത്തയോടുള്ള ആവേശം കൊണ്ടാണ് മാധ്യമപ്രവർത്തകരാകേണ്ടതെന്നും രാജ്ദീപ് സർദേശായി പറഞ്ഞു. തിരുവനന്തപുരം മസ്കറ്റ് ഹോട്ടലിൽ പ്രശസ്ത പത്രപ്രവർത്തകൻ N. രാമചന്ദ്രന്റെ സ്മരണാർത്ഥം ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ ഏർപ്പെടുത്തിയ പുരസ്കാരം ഗവർണർ ആരിഫ് മുഹമ്മദ് ഖാനിൽ നിന്നും ഏറ്റുവാങ്ങിക്കൊണ്ട് സംസാരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു അദ്ദേഹം.
Namaskaram everyone. Unfortunately, my Malayalam is not good enough, so I can't speak in Malayalam, so please forgive me. I would love to speak in your wonderful state, in the language of your state. You are a state which is truly magical, and I don't say it because I am here, but I've said it in the past. What Kerala thinks today, India tends to think tomorrow, and I maintain that. You also have the best fish. Nobody makes fish in mango curry and mean moili quite like the Keralites do. I am married to a Bengali, so it's a very difficult thing to say. But the Keralites and the Bengalis and people from my home state of Goa often compete with each other on who makes the best fish. You make the best fish in mango curry, the Bengalis in mustard, and we in Goa in coconut. But first, let me use this to Honorable Governor of Kerala, Arif Mohammad Khan Sahab, respected members of the Ramchandran Foundation, members of the Ramchandran family, distinguished guests on the dais, but most importantly, friends and journalist colleagues here in Kerala. I accept this award that has been bestowed on me with all humility and sincerity. It is for me a very special moment because you are bestowing an award on a journalist in the name of another journalist, and that to me is a far greater honor than anything else if an award was in the name of a politician. Because I think hearing that someone has spent 50 years of his life writing editorials is truly special. I think it reflects the individual's passion for journalism, for ideas, which clearly Mr. Ramachandran had. And therefore, it is for me a very special privilege to receive this award in his name. And I thank the foundation and the members of the family for this. I also thank them because Kerala, as I said, above all else, is also a place where journalism is truly valued. I don't think there is any other part of the country where most people read 2 and 3 newspapers even today early in the morning. So I salute the spirit of Keralites to read newspapers even today. Because newspapers for me were my first love, my pehla pyar. And while television happened along the way, I do believe that there is something magical about a newspaper. So then to hear that the Kalakaumudi and the Malayalam Manorama and Mathrubhumi circulate in lakhs, and people still pay 7 rupees 50 paisa for them more than they pay in Delhi, is a sign that you really value good journalism. So I salute the people of Kerala and the journalists of Kerala for carrying on this proud journalistic tradition. I also feel honored that I have received this award at the hands of Arif Mohammad Saab. And there is a reason for that. Over the years, I have known him as not just a politician but a great scholar, as someone who speaks his mind. Even if you disagree with him, and he and I have disagreed on occasion, we have never held it against each other. In fact, only a few months ago, I did a blog site which he disagreed with. And other politicians would cut off relations with you if they disagree with you. Arif Saab picked up the phone, spoke to me, and we had a conversation. I accepted my mistake, and we were able to carry forward the dialogue. To my mind, that is something that is missing in public life in India. Today, most public figures have become intolerant of listening to the other side. If I disagree with you, doesn't mean I am your enemy. People today are fighting with each other on WhatsApp groups. If they disagree with each other, you remove someone from the group or you walk away. We have become a them versus us society. where if I have one particular viewpoint on a particular issue which you disagree with, I become your enemy. How will we build a rational dialogue if we don't have a conversation with each other? This country is the greatest country in the world, I believe, to do journalism, because this country is a conversation. Because we all come from multiple faiths, multiple beliefs, but we are all united by the idea of India and our ability to converse with each other and talk to each other about the idea of India. And Kerala, in a sense, is the best example of it. I know no other part of the country where Hindus, Muslims and Christians have lived in such harmony for so many centuries, and that is some reason to celebrate. And that's why I said at the start, what Kerala thinks today, India must think tomorrow. And we as journalists also need to do that, because in television in particular, news has been replaced by noise, sense has been replaced by sensation, and credibility has been replaced by chaos. In a television studio now, more often than not, you have a lot of noise, but very little news. And what worries me more is that we have more and more space for hate and less space for harmony. India is a great country because Indians are inherently people who believe in harmony. And yet, we look for hate instead of looking for harmony. Every day in this country, I see remarkable stories of individuals doing such great stuff. But the good is never reported. Instead, we tend to report that which confirms our worst stereotypes and prejudice. We think that if a Hindu boy and a Muslim girl get married, or vice versa, if a Muslim boy and a Hindu girl get married, it must be love jihad. Why can it not be love? What is it to tell us that if for every instance where we are told that communities are divided? I just read yesterday in a village in Bengal, the Muslims of the village got together to celebrate Durga Puja and set up the entire pandal for their Hindu neighbors. And you can travel across this country and there will be hundreds of stories like this of great inclusion. But we in the media today tend to focus on how to divide people rather than how to unite people. Yesterday there was a story where the CBI had filed a closure report in a case of a young man who was killed in Karnataka, where it was immediately reported at the time it was a hate crime, it was Hindu-Muslim. CBI reported it was an accidental death. But for 3 weeks a few years ago in Karnataka, Hindus and Muslims were pointing fingers at each other. I sometimes wonder in TV studios what we tend to do when we put a Maulvi representing one extreme view and a Pandit representing another extreme view and get them to fight with each other. And the anchor listens and is very happy because his TRPs have gone up. I don't think we became journalists to drive TRPs. We became journalists because we were passionate about the news, because we wanted to tell stories, because we wanted to, in a sense, become observers to what was happening around us. We did not become journalists to play Hindu versus Muslim. We did not become journalists, in a sense, to see this great country of ours divided. Arif Saab, I give him huge credit. In the 1980s, at a time when it was difficult to take on extremist groups within the Muslim community, he stood up on the Muslim Women's Bill for a woman, Shahbanu, who deserved to get her maintenance. We need more people to stand up for what is right and just, irrespective of whichever faith they belong to. And the moment we can do that and start a conversation instead of an argument, start a dialogue instead of demonizing people, I think we will end up building a better India. You know, I accept this award in the hope and believe that the next generation of journalists will perhaps do much better than my generation did. That they will use digital media and the platforms and the technology that they had to build new bridges, to unite people, to find ways in which we can celebrate what is best amongst us. I keep telling my friends, we need a channel in this country called Good News India, where we must tell the good stories of this country, stories of hope, stories of aspiration, stories of people who are doing great work to bring people together rather than divide people. I do believe that we owe it to this country, we owe it to the great people who built the idea of India. This is a special day. This is a day which is Dashera, Shubho Vijaya, Vijay Dashmi. It is also in your part of the world. Vidya Arambham, which I think is a fantastic idea. So if I can start the process of using this as Vidya Arambham to the young journalists and say, please do what we failed to do and try somehow or the other to build bridges. Find ways in which you can tell stories that will give people hope in the idea of India. I think we will have done a great service. I wanted to say one word in Malayalam. I came here, I remember, to cover the election last year and I was struggling a bit. But wherever I went, I learned that to say thank you, you say Nanni.
Yes. Nanni, yes.
So on behalf so I'm accepting this award on behalf of all the wonderful colleagues that I worked with. I would not be here without the guidance I was provided by some very fine people who gave me an opportunity at a very young age. And I do hope, whether at Times of India, at NDTV, at Network 18 and then at India Today, the people who provided this opportunity are the reason I am here. So, Nanni to them, but most importantly to you, the Ramchandran Foundation and the people of Kerala. Thank you, and thank you again for bestowing this huge honor on me. Thank you.